week's episode of Simple Skills for Self Sufficiency, we are going to make bone broth, which is a great thing to make in the middle of winter. It's really nutritious, it's really good for your gut, and it's good to just keep your general well-being up. So great to have if you feel like you're getting a bit of a cold or something. Also, for those of you who are in lockdown at the moment, my heart goes out to you. It's a good thing to do while you are at home. You can just have it ticking away on the stove. If you've got a wood-fired heater, you can just have it sitting on top of there. And yeah, it'll keep your immunity up as well. So you can use all sorts of bones, basically whatever bones you get. I'm just doing a roast chicken, the bones left over. I figured that's kind of the most likely source of bones that people have, but also you may grow your own animals and then you have the bones left over there. You can also go to the butcher to get bones. And a good thing to add in are feet of the animal, because that actually puts more collagen into the broth, which is better for you. So yeah, just make sure you give them a good scrub. So here is the roast chicken. So I'm just going to chuck that in. Super easy to do. So you cook your chicken. You can either do it that night or you can, wait and do it the next day. I just put some veggie scraps that I've got around. I grabbed a handful of parsley from the garden. So you can just grab what you've got in your garden, some leaves. I've got a couple of carrots here, which are kind of on the way out. So, they're still okay to use, but I figure let's just chuck them in there. All of these things just add a little bit to it. Add an onion in. Now remember, you strain all of the veggies out, so you don't need to worry too much about how big you're chopping it, because you're not actually going to eat them. And yeah, you pop it all in your trusty pot. And the other thing you want to add to your broth is a little bit of vinegar. It just helps bring the goodness out that's in the bones. Now I've got the pot full. Now you just fill it up with water so it's covered. All the ingredients are covered. Okay, so we have your pot. Now if you have access to some chicken feet, you could chuck one of those in. That just adds in some extra goodness. So they were from some roosters that we dispatched, but you can also get them from the butcher. Now you can add a little bit of salt and pepper in there. Some people prefer not to add too much because you can actually season it once it's cooked. Okay, so that is a really simple way to make bone broth. Just put all the ingredients in, leave it to cook for around 4 hours. It could be slightly shorter, it could be a lot longer. I tend to get mine started on the stove and then I just leave it on a low simmer on top of the wood fire, and that just keeps it going, and I don't have to use electricity or gas to do that. So yeah, great for winter. If you feel like you're getting a little bit sick, to have some bone broth. You can either make it into a soup, use it as a base in a meal that you're making. You can even just sip on it like a drink. If you want to know more about bone broth, we've got a really in-depth article in issue 14 of Pit Magazine. Talking about how it heals, and with a simple recipe and just lots of different ideas. So give it a go, enjoy, have a quiet night in, have your bone broth bubbling on the stove, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks, bye.